Welcome back to Explain America. This is your host, Kyle Becker. The Democratic Party has become sick and twisted and demented, and these No Kings rallies brought out the worst of the worst. That's right, radicals who are spreading poisonous invective against the President of the United States, claiming he's a king, but their own rallies disprove their narrative. A king would not put up with their nonsense and their slanderous lies and their hoaxes and their fake news, but they have never stopped spreading it since Donald Trump first ran for office. So one Democratic official appears to have crossed a line. It's really quite interesting because not only is this person wishing death on the president, well, they are a doctor sworn to the Hippocratic Oath, and they are betraying their own oath. So you can't trust him as either a politician or as a doctor. We're going to break this down. But before we do, please like, share, and comment at Explain America. Join us. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, TDS, or Trump derangement syndrome, is not officially a medical condition, but it might as well be one because it has broken the brains of many radical leftists across America. We saw what happened when Trump supporter Charlie Kirk was assassinated in gruesome fashion. We saw the left come out in droves and cheer and celebrate the killing of a father and a husband. And, this is a family who is going to spend its first Christmas together without the father figure in the family. They're going to be heartbroken. And this is a person, Charlie Kirk, who has been peacefully speaking out on college campuses across the country to try to talk sense and to reason together over the policies and beliefs that people hold. And, well, they just can't handle it. And we see with the No Kings protests this weekend that this is what the radical left does instead of solving problems. Of course, the Democratic Party has shut down the federal government, trying to get $1.5 trillion in new spending that America doesn't need. They want to give health care to illegal aliens in blue states, effectively bailing them out when they do their Medicare switcheroo in those states. And the No Kings protest has just brought out people who want to scream and yell about the President of the United States. So these are people who are not productive citizens. They are not helping matters. They're not being reasonable. And someone who should know better is Connecticut State Senator Saad Anwar. He's a practicing physician and an immigrant from Pakistan. Now, he's facing backlash after he was photographed at a radical No Kings rally protest that said, let cholesterol do its job. Well, first of all, we won't quibble about whether cholesterol is really as serious a threat as the pharmaceutical industry wants us to believe that it is. Obviously, it does cause medical problems. And it's clear that he is commenting on Donald Trump's health. He is wishing death on the President of the United States. Once again, I guess he thought his sign was very cute and he could obscure this message because he knew it was going to get onto social media and that people would comment on it. But it is interpreted as a wish for President Trump to suffer or even die from health issues. It's drawn outrage in Connecticut and beyond. So this man, Connecticut State Senator Saad, he is engaging in rhetoric that is really disgraceful. And it's patience. You cannot trust someone from that. Because if you are a Trump supporter and you go to get help from him, are you going to get the best treatment that you possibly can get from him? No, you're not. You cannot trust this. And this state senator, once again, he's from Pakistan. This is a very radical nation compared to the United States. He is an immigrant. What is the Democratic Party doing to make sure that they are keeping extremists out of their party? That there are people who are loyal to the U.S. Constitution in their party. It seems like there are no safeguards. I mean, we know about Ilhan Omar from Somalia. She's engaged in rhetoric where she's scoffed at the 9/11 attacks. Look at Zohran Mamdani. He's palling around with terrorism supporters because, the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, there are unindicted co-conspirators, and that includes the blind sheikh Abdel Rahman. And one of his supporters, was seen with Mamdani. He was laughing and smiling with him. So they think it's all a big laugh that they're trying to destroy the United States of America. Democrats who don't get the news from places like Explain America, which, I'm attempting to counterbalance a lot of the dishonesty in the mainstream media, providing you an alternative point of view, asking you to weigh in with your own opinion, to do your own homework, to do your own research, and provide you with facts that you can look up and verify yourself. Well, we cannot have this divided country where we don't look at all sides of an issue and we don't reason together. And wishing death on your political opponent, this is banana republic stuff. This is stuff you see in the former third world, places like Pakistan, places like Somalia. And the Democratic Party is importing that into our politics. So really, enough is enough. We have to question the Democratic Party. Do they support democracy? My conclusion is no. They rigged the 2024 election for getting Joe Biden out, getting Kamala Harris switched in there. Effectively, that's a coup. And they have committed many, many attacks on our constitutional system of government. They won't accept that Donald Trump was elected president resoundingly in the last election. They've called on judicial activists to engage in illegal lawfare against the president. Don't forget, the Supreme Court had to smack them down and say, stop abusing nationwide injunctions because you disagree with policies. It just goes on and on. This is an undemocratic party. They're trying to hide that with these No Kings protests because they're the authoritarians. They're the autocrats. They're the ones who want to run the country with an iron fist. We saw that under the Biden administration with their mass censorship of Americans, with their support for COVID lockdowns and for their mandates across the board. And, if you lived in a blue state, that was authoritarianism. You never experienced anything like that under the Trump administration. It has been tolerant of all of this negative dissent. It hasn't attacked the press directly, only with their words, only with their free speech. That is how Trump has dealt with his political enemies. That is with his speech and with his executive actions to try to establish law and order in this country, because these sanctuary cities, they are ignoring the rule of law. They're allowing criminal aliens to wreak havoc in the cities. So he's attempting to try to restore the constitutional republic to protect us, including our life, liberty, and property. And the Democratic Party, they can't tolerate this because they're power hungry. And those who oppose them, they have no problem wishing death on them. And if they had total power, it could get even worse than that. So be wary of parties that support political violence like this, because the left, they have gone off the rails. That's my opinion. Weigh in with your own. We always appreciate hearing you at Explain America.